Okay, Mia Valenti, 9th of October 2018. Right, Mia, do the students know the lesson objective or weekly focus before the class begins?
Yes. So I like to try at the start of the class explain what we're working on, or the difference. So it's maybe not necessarily just one objective, one kind of focus. There might be, like, for certain exercises, like a group of exercises that have a specific focus, then we move on to another task. I would say sometimes it's not always like
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, so maybe like I totally lost my train of thought.
You said it might not always be at the beginning, I think is what you were saying.
Yeah, so like maybe, yes, that's what I was saying. So like maybe not for a full week I'd have the same agenda.
Okay.
So I always find sometimes like you maybe start off with an agenda and it kind of leads you into something else.
Okay.
But I think if you always kind of try to go back to what you started with, I think because if you have them for 5 days a week, you know, you kind of have the time to kind of allow yourself to kind of deviate a wee bit.
And when you're saying that you sort of maybe do deviate or you kind of change it up a bit, is that for the students' own obviously benefit, for them to achieve maybe something else outside of the objective? Is that for them?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
Like, you know, it's not like we're just changing it for jokes.
Yeah.
You know, it's you know, and sometimes actually maybe I find sometimes that they're the ones that actually take you off in a different direction. They might ask you a question that actually takes you off in a whole different route, or opens up another just general class discussion on something else, which then we go, right, okay, let's, I don't know, go to the bar, let's do another let's do an exercise, let's focus just on that, and then try to kind of go back to it.
Okay. And so do you think that that's very much like student-centred within your class? It's all very much to do with the student, everything sort of...
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, like, obviously, like, not that they're in charge of their full learning, because you plan for the week and whatnot, but then I don't think there's anything wrong with them, like I was saying, like, them asking the question and then they're sort of deciding like what they want to focus on, without them actually realising they're not actually dictating what you're doing, but I think that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And so then, just from everything that you've said there, do you think it's sort of a shared process of learning and improving together, as opposed to just the teacher dictating, here, this is what we're doing today and this is what we shall focus on?
No, I think it is a shared thing. I think it has to be, because you know, they have an opinion, I like to ask questions, I like them to be involved in the class, I hate when they're silent. You know, I think curiosity is quite, you know, it's good for them to, even if it's a silly question, or, you know, you think it's silly, to them it means something, and I think just allow them to
explore. Okay, cool. Have you considered a short recap of each lesson focus, or a summary of how you're going to lead from one lesson to another?
No, but that's something that I could maybe do more of. Maybe.
Do you think it could possibly influence the learning experiences of the students?
Yeah. I know sometimes, and I'm sort of to blame sometimes, because sometimes I just forget, and I think when you do sort of recap, or you do sort of explain a wee bit more, you know, how you get from A to B and whatnot, I think I see a difference. So I think a lot of it's my fault that I sometimes just generally forget, and you're sort of you're in the way of it. You get caught up in, right, let's move on. And actually, sometimes it's good to just stop. Let's just kind of reassess where we're at and what we've learned, before we take that next step.
Okay, amazing. What are the outcomes and objectives for this year group, so the S3s?
S3s, right, so obviously I only have them once a week. My objective for them has been the PBT stuff. Okay, so working on the ball for majority of the class, just to sort of more like a body conditioning, try and keep them as in the best condition as possible to prevent injury. Because I find like with their syllabus that they're working on, the jump from second year to third year is quite a big step. So physically they need to have the strength to kind of match the level that's they're required to sort of demonstrate.
Are the objectives, so the ultimate objectives for the year group discussed collectively with all of the teachers that they have? So the kids tell me that they've got, is it 3 or sometimes 4 biology in a week? Yeah. So has it discussed like the aims or objectives, like what they're working towards as like a group of staff?
No.
Okay, and do you think that possibly considering maybe communicating that within each other, that would make an impact?
Yeah, like I think like me personally, I work towards like, because obviously I don't have them for 10th, but class work, right? So if I was doing that, I would run it by through what they're working towards for their exam. So the whole syllabus, even if I'm not doing their exercises, I'd have that sort of as an end result.
Right, okay.
But because I'm not with them that much, I don't have that. I do guess because that's the problem with having, more than one teacher a week. Even 2 is okay, 3 I think it's a bit too much, because every teacher teaches slightly different, and I think even at third year level, I think they still need consistency. So what I say might be slightly different to what Miss Woody says or Miss Stewart. And as much as you try, I do find that really difficult as a teacher. So if I find that hard, how does a young person cope with that? I think there possibly does need to be more discussion. I think there needs to be more discussion.
Okay.
But there isn't.
So even though you're saying that there maybe does need to be more discussion, you are all obviously aware of, what's going on. So in terms of maybe the S3s having their syllabus with Miss Stewart, you at least know that that's what they're working on, and if you maybe make yourself aware of that syllabus, you obviously can use that to sort of work. Okay.
So that's what so obviously sometimes I don't spend the full class doing the ball work. I'd maybe do ball and then go to jump. So maybe certain steps out of the syllabus, I'll just focus on those steps. So it's, even though I'm not doing like a full class, or that I'm still trying to give them some sort of help and some sort of guidance to help to benefit the kind of syllabus. Okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And so have you considered communicating this information with the students in terms of what their overall aim for the year is?
I do try. I mean, I'd like to think they know what that is, or what the sort of aim is. And I know myself, I do try and say that, like, so say we're working on like, sea songs, or for the boys double tours, whatever, I would say, right, you've got to make sure you get this because you need to be able to do this for your exam. Okay. So for that one class a week, that's all I've got. So I try to make them aware that it is that. Okay. Whether they get that, I don't know.
Okay. How do you go about achieving the aims that you set yourself? Like, what strategies do you use within the class?
Gosh, that's a hard one. Say it again?
So how do you go about achieving these aims? What strategies do you use?
Such a hard one. Oh gosh. That's actually making me think. I actually don't know. I actually can't think of an answer right now.
Do you want to come back? Should we come
back
to that one?
That's
fine. Okay. To what extent are the students responsible for their own learning? The reason I'm asking that is because much of what I've observed when I've been in the classes is based upon the students being very independent and very self-efficient, and doing their sort of focus groups. They've said quite a numerous amount of times that they actively are listening for corrections that maybe aren't specific to them, so they're very aware of things like that. So to what extent are they, responsible for their learning?
I think they're massively responsible for their own learning. I think especially at this level, especially third year, you know,